अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। चिन्मयं व्यापि यत्सर्वं त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरुरादिरनादिश्च गुरुः परमदैवतं गुरोः परतरं नास्ति तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। हरि ओम। गजानना है मनमदना, गजानना है मनमदना, मनमदना गणपति देवा सुख सदना, सुख सदना गणपति देवा सुख सदना, सुख सदना गजानना है मनमदना, मनमदना शंभुनंदन, शंभुनंदन जितभ्रमणा, जितभ्रमणा मूषिकवाहन, मूषिकवाहन मंदगमना, मंदगमना शंभुनंदन जितभ्रमणा मूषिकवाहन मंदगमना, मंदगमना गणपति देवा सुख सदना, सुख सदना आनंदी नंदन, आनंदी नंदन स्वच्छनयना, स्वच्छनयना आनंदी नंदन स्वच्छनयना, स्वच्छनयना उमादेवी लालित उमादेवी लालित देवगणपालना देवगणपालना शिवतेजपूरित शिवतेजपूरित सर्वजयकेतना सर्वजयकेतना उमादेवी लालित देवगणपालना शिवतेजपूरित सर्वजयकेतना सर्वजयकेतना नादबिन्दुकलातीत नादबिन्दुकलातीत आदिस्पन्दना आदिस्पन्दना विघ्नहरणवरदात विघ्नहरणवरदात बन्धमोचना बन्धमोचना नादबिन्दुकलातीत आदिस्पन्दना आदिस्पन्दना विघ्नहरणवरदात बन्धमोचना बन्धमोचना गणपतिदेवा सुखसदना सुखसदना गजानना है मनमदना मनमदना गणपतिदेवा सुखसदना 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 हरि ओम. Mentally, we create in our mind certain standards to live, certain standards to follow for or by others. We create in our mind certain standards for others to follow. They may not know about them. They may not know any information about the standards that we have created in our mind for them. And after that, we expect that they should meet the standards that are set by us in our mind. And if they don't meet the standards, we get angry upon them. Don't we see these things happening to us? We expect that our partners or the people with whom we are related, they should follow certain standards. Where are these standards? In our mind. Who have set these standards? We have set them. And what are we trying to do? We are expecting them to follow. And when they don't follow, we feel let down. We feel angry. We feel annoyed. We experience anguish. Very surprising. We have set the standard and they should follow. If they don't follow, then we are gone. We are disturbed. And we get angry. Now please, let us look into this anger. Anger is a form of judgment. We have set the standards, then we looked at the behavior of the other person, then we judged. Judgment. We made the judgment. What is the judgment? They have not met our standards. So then we are angry. So anger is a form of judgment. And anger is like a support for the ego. Anger is like a shield for the ego. Anger is a defense of the ego. It's a defense in fear that we may lose. We may lose something. We will be the losers. We may not get things in our way. And then this anger will make us become more negative. The standard and the judgment. These are two important things for us to understand. Whenever we get angry, the whole focus is on the cause of the anger. Who caused it and how the other person caused it. And we are suffering. But the important thing is not looking at the cause of the anger, but look at the structure, how the anger has formed. We have to look at the very structure. Standards and judgments. We have set the standards and expect others to follow, and we pass the judgments about their behavior. We do this. Most of the time we do this. With every person whom we come across, whom we meet, and then entertain a little bit of relationship, we set a standard in our mind. And then afterwards the story begins. The best way to not get affected by these things is not judging only. See, we set a standards for others. When they don't follow, we get angry. And sometimes we set standards for ourselves, psychologically. And when we do not follow, we become guilty. We set certain standards. We should be like this. And then when we don't follow, it is not possible for us to follow sometimes. And then what happens? We become guilty. Guilt is a form of anger directed inwards. Guilt is a form of anger directed inwards upon us. Whenever we feel guilty also, we will not be comfortable. We feel very bad. We feel sad. Why do we feel these emotions? Because we are feeling guilty. And why do we feel guilty? Because we have set certain standards for ourselves to follow. We did not analyze whether we have the capacity to follow, or this is the right time to follow, or we should follow or not, or should we set such standards for us. We have set the standards, imaginary standards, looking at somebody, looking at others, or sometimes forced by others, whatever it is, and then we feel guilty. And whenever we feel guilty, we are peaceless. We are not peaceful. And whenever we are not peaceful, we are disturbed. Whenever we are disturbed, we will send disturbed vibrations to others, and we will send disturbances to others. The whole atmosphere around us will be filled with disturbance. So guilt and anger. Anger is a negative emotion directed outwards upon the other. Guilt is a negative emotion directed inwards. It's another form of anger. And both are based upon judgments that we pass in our mind. We do not know who gave us the qualification. We pass judgments about somebody. This is a standard that somebody should do, and somebody did not do. We pass it the judgment and we are suffering. That is why someone said, if you want to be freed from guilt and anger, do not judge yourself. You don't judge yourself. And also, do not allow others to judge you. But this is a tricky thing. Not allowing others to judge you. Meaning we can't stop others from passing judgments. Sometimes they proclaim judgments also. When nobody is there to take them, but they proclaim in their own court of law. They think they are in the highest seat of International Court of Justice. And then they pass the judgment. And they proclaim. And sometimes few fools also will gather around such people. And then they will also support, yes, we will also support the judgment. So, if we don't judge ourselves, then there is no guilt. And if we don't allow others to judge us, there is no suffering. There is no problem at all. I am not saying that we should take up corruption, that we should take up unethical values, immoral actions, and then don't judge, and then don't follow. That is taken care by the society. That is taken care. They have set certain standards. If we don't follow, we are caught. And when we are caught, then we will be tied in a knot. That is a different aspect. For our own personal growth, for our own evolution, we have to follow the dharma. That is a different issue. I am talking about peacelessness and negative emotions that we create in ourselves and we suffer. For no reason. Unnecessarily we suffer. In relationships, this becomes a problem. And we set the standard and we always want others to meet it. And when they don't meet it, and then we become very, very irritated and frustrated. We become totally disturbed. And we become peaceless. How to become peaceful? There are three ways. Very standard ways, very perfect paths. Three different ways. The first one is what we are discussing now, which is very common. The common thing is, see, whenever we look at the other, our relationships, the people who are in our relationships, two things we discuss. They did like this, I am affected. Now please. They did like this, I am affected. Number one, this is the common thing that we discuss. They did like this, I am affected by it. And second thing, they did not do like this. They did not do like this, I am affected. They did like this, I am affected, I am disturbed, I am angry. They did not do like this, I am affected, I am disturbed, I am angry, I am suffering, I am in pain. This is a very funny thing. Others can either do or don't do. These are only two possibilities. And our intelligence is, both the ways we suffer. Now see, either they can do or not do, that's all. But what we are doing here, they did like this, we suffer. They did not do like this, we suffer. This is the common complaint that we have. Common complaint, common reason that we give for our lack of peace in our lives is, they did like this. What to do? They did like this. Husband says about wife, wife says about husband, teacher says about student, student says about teacher, master says about servant, servant says about master, friend says about friend, friend says friend, lover says about beloved, beloved says about lover. Grandparents say about grandchildren, grandchildren say about grandparents. Parents versus children, children versus parents. Guru versus Sishya, Sishya versus Guru. Ruler versus subject, subjects versus ruler. This goes on. They did like this. I am disturbed. The only thing is I have successfully devised the causes and reasons by which I can get constantly disturbed. I only created them. They did like this. I am gone. And what I am trying to do, they did not do like this. I am disturbed. No, what I am trying to do now, those who did like this, I want them not to do like this. Those who did not do, I want them to do like this. Will I ever attain peace? Is it possible? Always I am depending upon others for my peace. You have done like this. Don't do. I get angry and I will be peaceful. If you don't do, I will be peaceful. And somebody has done something. Don't do, I will be peaceful. Somebody did not do something. You do, then only I will be peaceful. This is where our rishis say the simple, easiest thing is drop judgments, drop standards in your mind for others. Drop them. Drop them. That's all. Say that I am not keeping any standards. Just think for 1 second, if we think like this, to come out of the disturbance that is there in our mind, the pain that we are undergoing because of our relationships, if we really want to find peace, without running anywhere, without going anywhere, without falling at anybody's feet, simply if you understand this, drop the standards. From now, I am not entertaining any standard. I am taking them out of my mind and dumping in the other's, neighbor's trash can. Because if in our trash can we may open and see once in a while what is there. And then we see a nice thing is there, why are we throwing, and then take it and then keep it in our pocket. Sometimes, I don't know in what mood I threw it, or keep it in my pocket. So somebody was discussing, they wanted to take loan. So they were discussing, should we take loan from optimists or pessimists? Should we take loan from optimists or pessimists? Somebody gave an idea. Take loan from a pessimist, because he will never expect you to pay. The pessimistic attitude, the moment he gives, this fellow will never pay, this fellow will cheat me, there is a pessimistic attitude. So take loan from a pessimist, he will never bother you. He will be bothering himself. Because pessimistic attitude, he will bother. Everybody take loan from me, nobody, he will bother. So best thing. So next time when you approach for loan, ask the person, optimist or pessimist. Pessimist, lucky. Immediately take the loan. See, the idea here is we suffer because of our own attitudes. So, if we drop the standards and judgments, see this. Why are we suffering? Why should we suffer? First of all, because of something done or undone by the other. This is the reason we have to understand. Why should we suffer? How long this goes on? This is continuing. And we have hold other person responsible, and guilt also we suffer, anger also we suffer, negative. How long this should continue? So, the first method is for few moments to understand the gracefulness that flows. If we drop these standards and judgments, we can experience this for some time, like a play at least. Okay, now for 1 hour, I am dropping all standards that I have set for others. Dropped. And no more judgments, because judgments are based upon standards. So judgments are automatically dropped. Then, now I get bored, that no disturbance, no tension, no worry, no time pass. Ego is not surviving now. Hurry. I should need something to worry about, yaar. Otherwise how? Either I should worry or you should worry. If I don't have worries, I will create worries for you. At least I will have satisfaction that I am alive. I should do something. So that's how the mind works, if we allow the mind to work. So at least for some time, if we see that these are the things which are bringing a lot of agony to us, annoyance to us, we should drop them. Drop them and see. Maybe on a festival day, on a birthday, or a wedding day. Someday, let us drop New Year Day. This will be real New Year Day. So people do fasting and other things. So this is emotional, psychological, mental fasting. Easy for health. What? Dropped. The feeders of suffering. Those things they were feeding us. The guilt, feeding the anger, creating them. Standards drop, judgments drop. Just think what will happen. We will be out of all kinds of guilts and angers and troubles in relationships. We have the key. Somebody is not following the standard and we are suffering here. How long? This will continue. We will be spending sleepless nights. We will be disturbed. We will be frustrated. And other person, see, the person who is doing or not doing is happily sleeping. We have set the standard, the person has done, not done, whatever it is. We say, no, they did something, they did not do something. That's why we are disturbed. Most of our complaints are based upon this. Somebody did something, I am troubled. Somebody did not do something, I am troubled. They did something, they did not do something according to their nature. That is how they are made. That is how they have created themselves since few births. That is how they have cultivated all these things in their mind. That is how they have trained themselves since few births. That nature is very tough in them, hardcore nature. They have developed themselves like that since few births. How can they drop this nature just because you have set a standard, I have set a standard? It's not possible for them to drop this. They need their time. They have to realize in their own way. They have to go through the experiences. What do we sit there and then set the standard and then say, they did like this, I am disturbed. They did not do like this, I am disturbed. Only two things. They did not do. Both are connected with the standards that were set for them and judgments that we pass. Standards and judgments. Drop the standards, drop the judgments for our peace, for our happiness, for our comfort, for our joy, for our serenity, for our stress-free living, for our depression-free living, for our healthy, agony-free living. Healthy living, agony-free living. Why can't we do that? Just think, it is just that thinking which makes all the difference. We are sitting here and then thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking, and then there is stress and strain and pressure and tension and then for what? Somebody did something somewhere and somebody did not do something somewhere, and they don't meet my standards and I am suffering here. Whose health is spoiled? My health is spoiled. I am not able to concentrate on my duty. I can't maintain normal relationship with the people who are around me because of this. I shout at people and then they think that their standards are not met by us. And then they get disturbed. And then they throw some more disturbance on us. Then we get more disturbed. See this? And what we say? We say this person is everybody else other than I is the cause. But the actual truth is I am the cause. Because I have set certain standards, I have passed certain judgments. That is where we have to go beyond this. First method to attain peace. Second method to attain peace. The other, about whom we are analyzing so much. The other who has done something and disturbed us. The other who has not done something and then disturbed us. The other who did not meet the standards and disturbed us. The other. Where is the other? Outside or inside? The other who is appearing to be outside exists only because I allow the other inside. Actually, the other is not the other outside. The other has no power to disturb me from outside. The other enters into my mind in the form of a thought. In my thoughts, the other exists. That is why my pain is not 5 inches away from me. I am disturbed by the other. Where is disturbance? Here. My disturbance is here. Where are you suffering? Here. I am suffering there. Do we suffer there? Because the person is somewhere and then done something, did something, and then where are we suffering? There only. We are suffering. But where do we suffer? Here. How is this possible then? If somebody is outside and somebody has done or not done something, and why are we suffering inside? It is because the other is in my thoughts. Only when the other enters into my mind through my thoughts, the other can suffer, cause the suffering, the other can disturb me, the other can remove my peace, rob my peace. When the other enters into me through my thoughts. Who allowed this? I allowed this. And what do I say? I say the other is the cause. Hare, where is the other? The other is outside. See the other. That other cannot do anything. Cannot even touch my feather. The other cannot do anything. The other has entered into my mind through the thought, through the thinking, and the other now sitting comfortably inside on the beautiful, comfortable seat provided by us. Then the other will start squeezing us inside. Then we think of the other and then disturb. Think of the other and feel angry. We think of the other and feel pain. We think of the other and feel, Where is the other? Here. Who is entertaining the other? I. And then where am I seeing for solution? Outside. In whom? In the other. Hey other, please behave properly. I am suffering here. When the other says, what have I done? I did not do anything. That is truth. Actually, that is truth. Actually, if you are very sincere spiritually, if you are spiritual, I am not talking about legally, socially, morally, ethically, put aside all these things. One thing, spiritually, if you really want to come out of this problem, really want a solution, really want to attain peace, instant peace right now, really, then if somebody says, I have not done anything, that is truth. I allowed you to do, my dear. Then only you could do something to me. I allowed you to do. If I have not allowed you to do anything to me, how can you disturb me? Normally people say, no, तुम्हारा बाल भी उखाड़ नहीं सकते. करेक्ट है वो, क्योंकि बाल है ही नहीं, क्या उखाड़ने का. वो बाल्ड हेड है तो वो बोलता है डायलॉग, बाल्ड. There's a different issue. So really nobody can do anything. This is truth. But what we do, we allow the other person to enter into us nicely. Our thinking only. We contribute to the entry. We only send the invitation. And along with the invitation, agitation. And then inside, confrontation. And then we create a bad situation. The other is inside, in my mind, in the thoughts. So where I have to find the solution? Inside. What should I do? Remove the thought of the other. Nicely tell the mind, thank you very much. So many days you disturbed me with these thoughts. Now I don't want to entertain any thought about the other. In fact, I'll think about something. I will clearly understand. I will clearly look into this fact and clearly see how the other is disturbing in my mind with my own thought. In my own mind, the other becomes opponent. I become a defender. And then we both of us fight in my mind. That is why the stress is in my mind. Tension is in my mind. Ill health will be in my body. Suffering is in me. So I am fighting with myself inside. And then I am asking others to, please, I am suffering all because of you. Please, please, come on, now please. What please? Instead, if I look into myself and see this and then say, the other, Hari Om, chalo. Simple thinking. If we look at the other inside my mind and say the other, goodbye, tata, see you, bye-bye. Don't come back again. If you come back also, I will not give any value to you. I have devalued you. I will not bother about your presence. The thought will come and go, come and go, come and go. Don't give attention, come and go, come and go. Afterwards it will stop coming. Slowly, slowly it gets reduced, and afterwards stop coming. Then you get interested in other things and then take care of the duty, responsibility, focus the mind on something or the divinity or whatever techniques that we have, and then we get involved in this and slowly it will fade away. It will go out. Then afterwards there is no other only. Other, kidhar? Then somebody asks, other, that other we used to bother you. Kidhar? Kahan hai? Where is the other? No other. Idhar, udhar, kidhar bhi nahi hai other. That is how, this is the second method. Second method. Instead of pleading the other, requesting the other, and then holding the other responsible, where is the other? Other is in my mind. I am sitting in a AC room, and that also very cold temperature I have set, but my mind is hot and fuming. Why? Because somebody did something. See this? Where is that somebody? Inside. Let us understand and remove that other from our mind. Through understanding, through proper analysis, based upon scriptural knowledge, we can remove them. Third method. This is a bit higher method. Third method. Very easy, but very difficult. Third method. Vedanta says, where is the other? The other and you are one. Either the other is non-existent completely, illusion, a projection, a play on the substratum of the Atma. It's a play. It's a Maya. Or the other is you. Other and you are one. The difference is created by thought. The separation is created by thought. The division is created by thought, which is rooted in ignorance. That thought survives because of the ego. That thought will create all mischief in our mind. So, by understanding about the oneness that exists in this, whatever is in this existence, we will come out of this. This is the highest way. There is no other. The other is only our mental projection. Or the other and I are one. Where is the other? The one who enlivens the other and the one who enlivens I, both are one. The same consciousness, same divinity. In fact, even the material also is born out of divinity. The body from the divinity, the mind from the Maya. The organs again from the material cause. Everything is connected to divinity. And that divinity is your divinity which is in you. Both divinities are one. There are no two divinities, only one. Then where is the other? No, that is difficult. Okay, आ जाओ सेकंड मेथड के लिए. अदर है लेकिन मेरे अंदर है, निकाल दूंगा उसको, निकाल. With nice practice, with nice thinking, with nice understanding, with scriptural understanding, scriptural analysis, nicely, coolly take your time to take out. No, वो भी मुश्किल है. थर्ड मेथड में आ जाओ. पहला मेथड है, drop the judgment, drop the standard. At least for time pass, we will play so many games. People keep playing so many games. So this is also one game. One day, no judgments, no standards. One day, free, off, take off. हो गए बात. Easily we will attain the success in this. We have to work, we have to do some work for attaining the success. Someone said, how fast I attained success, you know? How fast? How fast? Just listen. See, I joined the company and they posted me in the mail room. You know, mail room, the mails, mail room. Then within 1 month, I became the office manager. assistant manager. Within 1 month I became the assistant manager. And then another month I became office manager. And then another month passed, I became general manager. And one more month passed, I became director. Another month passed, I became managing director. One more month passed, I became chief managing director. The other person was shocked. How? Who is the boss of the company? He said, my father. तुम्हारा बाप का कंपनी है तो कुछ भी बन सकते हैं. वो थोड़ी अचीवमेंट है क्या? इज इट एन अचीवमेंट? तुम्हारा बाप का है, जो पोस्ट चाहिए वो पोस्ट ले लो. Either you go and sit in that seat or sit in your seat and order those people. वो ला लो, वो table they will display the tag, no, that is a manager, general manager, director. You sit in the same seat and keep changing them. That's all. Over. Why 1 month also? 1 hour we can become anything. बाप का है. But if we understand, if we know that the mind is ours and it will really function according to our understanding and our knowledge, अपना बाप का है. We can become anything in our mind. If we really understand, we can overcome that in no time. But we have to work. We don't get our own companies everywhere, isn't it? We have to work for it. Then only we will attain that level. So we have to do something to really attain the peace. So, either one of these 3 things we can select. 3 beautiful ways to attain peace in our relationships. A very important thing. If we don't use these 3 methods, then what happens is, we will get into negative emotions. See, when we are not practicing any one of these 3 methods, we get into negative emotions. And when there are conflicts, when there is a conflict between people, or conflicts among people, whatever it is, there will be arguments. And whenever there are arguments, first of all there is inner argument, then that will come out outside and it will be outer argument. In the arguments, we try to win over the other. We want to win over the other. In the process of winning over the other, we will create more negative emotions in ourselves and in others. देखो क्या होता है when we argue. Whenever we argue, how much ever decent we may look outside for a few people, nobody is decent for everybody in this world. Huh? Everybody is somebody's botheration at some time or other. That is very clear. So, I may look very decent, but suddenly when I get into conflict and then start arguing, then what I do is, I want to win. I want to win. I want to win. I want to win. When I want to win, then what I do is, I create negative emotions in myself and I promote negative emotions in the other. And when I do this, either create negative emotions in myself and win the argument, or promote negative emotions in others and win the argument, we are actually losing. We are the losers. We can be winners even when we lose an argument. We can be winners even when we lose an argument. We will be losers even when we win an argument. If we understand this simple truth, it is more sacred and beneficial and greater than winning the election for the president of US or the president of India, the prime minister of UK or India. Doesn't matter. Or any other country. We will be even more greatest. That is incomparable. That is nothing in front of this. Who is the greatest person? Vedanta says, that person in whom there is no fear, no anger, no guilt, no shame, no sadness, no anxiety, no worry, no hate. That person is the greatest. What does it matter for the person if anxiety, guilt, shame, fear, anger? If you don't give room to these things, If our mind is freed from these things, the peace that we enjoy, the joy that is there in our mind, the bliss that will be there, the serenity, the divinity is incomparable with all these winnings in this world. Nothing of this world can equal to even an iota of the joy and peace, the happiness that the person enjoys. This person is an eternal winner. He will not have any standards to meet, any judgments to pass. He doesn't want anybody's appreciation, anybody's award, remark, opinion, certificate, anybody's good feelings. Nothing. He's not bothered about anything. By himself, this person is very good. Because there is no fear, there is no anger, there is no guilt, there is no shame, there is no sadness. No need for any sadness. There is no anxiety. There is no hate. There is no worry. The person is freed from these things. So, if we promote these things in our relationships, in our arguments, we are losers because they will affect us in the long run. They will come back to us. They will hit us again. If we promote these things in the other, they will hit us again. So where is the question of winning? Where is the question of losing? If we have understood what should be there in our mind. If I want to keep peace in my mind, I have to understand that these negative emotions should not be given a room. Now please think, see how to deal with a negative emotion. Very important thing, very subtle thing. The subtle thing is, instead of looking at the causes of the negative emotion, if we can look towards the origin of the negative emotion, the root of the emotion. When we go into the root of the emotion, if we put our attention onto the root of the emotion, then the energy behind this emotion diminishes, dissolves, disappears. The energy behind that negative emotion diminishes, dissolves, disappears. Then there is no power in that negative emotion. Instead of looking outside, instead of looking at the other, instead of looking at the confusion which is there because of this negative emotion, we have to look at the root of the emotion. Just a look is enough. One look is enough. Like our pet dog is running here and there and all that. One look, it stays there. Like that. Or like one husband talking to the wife, one look, husband is comes back to the normal state. Like that. One look is enough. Root of the emotion. And once the energy diminishes, dissolves and disappears, the emotion has no sting in it. It can't do anything to us. So we need not run away from the emotion. Or normally what we do is we want to run away from the emotion. We want to protect this. That is why we get into other negative emotions. Let us not protect this. Let us look at that. Let us give time to ourselves and look at this. And then the negative emotion disappears. Whenever there is upsurge of this emotion, let us not argue at all. The best thing to practice in our relationships is, whenever there are such emotions, don't argue, don't talk, don't communicate, don't discuss. No need. Maintain Maunavrata. Be silent, but intelligently silent, consciously silent, peacefully silent, happily silent. Be silent, that's all. And then, once these things are out of the mind, then communicate. Then only talk. This is the best way. Best way to practice. Why go on trying to fight and trying to convince the other, trying to change the other and trying to argue with the other and then win and then this and why all this? What is the use? We will be the losers in the final run. So better Don't argue, don't talk, don't communicate. No need, keep quiet. It is not withdrawal, it is intelligent silence. That's all. Wait for the right mood. Then again express your love and talk smoothly, talk nicely, whatever you can talk, whatever you can communicate, say something nice, and there ends the matter. Matter ends. Then we are not the cause for the problems anymore. And we will not allow others to enter into our lives also, our minds also like this. Another suggestion which is given is image that we have about the other. Standards, judgments, and now image. We carry an image about the other. Any image. Image is an image. We need not carry any image about the other because relationships are alive and changing. Relationships are always alive and changing. People are constantly changing and growing. Two things we have to remember. Relationships are always alive and changing. People are constantly changing and growing. But if we keep the image, we will be reacting to the image of the person in our mind. The person might be different. The person might have become more worst. Who knows? Or more beautiful. We don't know. But we will continue to hold this image and then we get troubled. Holding the image means trouble, inviting the trouble. Holding the image is keeping the person's qualities inside us. Why should we keep the image? No need to keep the image. Leave the image. One lady was discussing with another lady. She was saying, I am marrying for the 7th time. The other person said, 7th time? And what happened? See, whomsoever I married, that person never gave me love, never expressed love, never really shared love. Never shared love, expressed love, gave love. Who were they? The first one was a historian. I married a historian. He was only telling tales about past love stories of various countries and continents, only telling tales. Past, that was love story like this, in history it was like that, in 15th century it was 14th century. Baba, we are in 21st century. No. In BC it was like that, in AD it was like that. No. In Shalivahana Sakha it was like that. He never shared love, he never expressed love, he never gave love. Chhod diya usko. Next one was an archaeologist. He was telling about the graves and burial grounds of lovers and beloved. It is such a famous grave, famous tomb, famous burial ground of lovers and beloved. Give love. No. Always talking about remains and ruins and ruining the life. Not giving love, not sharing love, not expressing love. छोड़ दिया उसको. छोड़ दिया. जरूरत नहीं है उन्हें मेरे साथ में. निकाल के छोड़ दिया उसको, फेंक दिया. And third one was an economist. He was calculating dowry how much, alimony how much, and the share how much, this expenditure how much, this how much, that how much. We will go there and then that will be expenditure. There we can love. We will go here. All economy on. So he did not share love, give love, express love. छोड़ दिया. उसको भी छोड़ दिया. And the next one was a politician. He was promising love. Next year you see how much I will love. Wait, see how much I will love. See, you will be immersed in love, drowned in love. See. Only promises. He never gave love, shared love, expressed love. Usko bhi chhod diya. And next one was a psychologist. He was only talking about love. In love, these chemical changes will happen. In love, this will happen. In love, the mood will happen. In love, blah, blah. Khatam. Always sessions. That's all. No love. उसको भी छोड़ दिया. And the last one was a computer engineer. All that he did was he showed a PowerPoint presentation on love. And he showed graphics in love. उसको भी छोड़ दिया. See, if we are like this, the number will not be limited to 7 for both the people. 7 nahi, kuch nahi, 6 nahi, chalte rata. We can exhaust all the people in this world, but still we will continue to complain like this. Unless and until we discover the source of love within ourselves. As long as we are waiting for the other person to love us and other person to really give us the joy, we will be like this. Changing people, changing places, changing this, changing that, but finally ending up again in dissatisfaction and no fulfillment in life. This will continue like this. So we have to discover the source of love within us, inside us. The divinity is within, the source is within, the light is within. The love is within, the comfort is within, the joy is within, the peace is within. The peace, joy, comfort, love, all are within. They are not outside, they are just there inside. We have to go deeper, deeper into us. We have gone outside and we have seen so much in the world outside. And there are some people who are not at all mindful of how they are treating others. Because it is said, how we treat others is more important than what we accumulate in the world materially. Because the accumulated things which belong to materialistic world, we leave them here and go. But surprising thing is, the people with whom we have maintained relationships, they are successively born with us for at least a few births. Again and again, we come across these people in different roles, in different ways, they get related to us, and till we learn lessons from them, this continues. So why, if we treat someone badly, we think it ends here? It will not end here. Till we learn a positive lesson, we will be taking birth again and again with same people. Exchange of roles might be, but still we continue. So better understand it, silently entertain a good emotion. यही खत्म कर दो किस्सा, क्यों continue करना है? As if it is not enough now, and then continue the same story next birth and after birth and after birth and same story. This goes on repeating. It's no joke, no fantasy, no imagination. It is the truth. That's what happens in our lives. All those people with whom we react with all negative emotions, till we learn a lesson of entertaining a positive emotion inside us, we need not go to them and tell, knock the door and tell. They will knock us out. So, if we entertain a positive emotion within ourselves, that is enough, that is more than enough. If we have that. So we can contact our own source which is there inside within us. That alone really brings about a healing. That alone really does all the good to us, benefit to us. See, when we want to complain, we can complain because constantly we are surrounded by selfish people. They are in the majority. According to one of the great evolved person's analysis, 4/5 is that only. 4/5. Meaning what? 80% approximately. So we will be surrounded by the people who are selfish, who want only their gain, who are interested in their progress, who want their happiness at the cost of anybody. We are surrounded by such people. And when we are surrounded by such people, what happens is, they will express only such negativities. Because their thing is, they want to gain happiness according to their own decision making and their own ways. They are selfish, so they want it at any cost. They are not bothered about what you feel, what I feel. They want it, that's all. So when we are surrounded by such people, complaining about such people is of no use. Talking about such people is of no use. So what we have to do? What should be done there? What should be done there is, we have to understand that they will be rude, they will be arrogant, they will be critical, they will be insensitive, they will be trying to pull us down. They will do this. They will be constantly there. Instead of looking at them, we should start looking at ourselves. Not look around and say the world is like this, the world will be like that. How are you? How am I? That is very important. If I pay attention to how am I, then I might see the same world with a different vision. Same world. This is what Arjuna did. Krishna did to Arjuna. Same situation. He saw it in one way, got disturbed, annoyed, agitated, pain, suffering. The vision changed. He stayed there in the same place. That's why he did not take him to some other place. Now people ask, in battlefield only he taught. He can teach in any field. White field, wheat field, any field he can teach. What field? Parade grounds also he can teach. What is there? Any field. He did not change the place, he did not change the people, he did not change the situation. Only understanding changed. The vision changed. The attitude changed. Actions changed. Feelings changed. Expressions changed. Success was achieved. No need to change anything outside. That was a matter of a second for Sri Krishna to change anything outside. No matter of a second. It is all his own play. It is all his own projection. His own Maya which is creating all these things. Fatak, it will change. But where will Arjuna grow? Where will be the evolution of the soul? It will not be there. So he did not change anything. He allowed the person to change oneself, himself. You have to change. So that change is possible when we know that the source of peace is within us, not outside us. The source of comfort is within us. Let us not say other person has to give the comfort. That is false understanding, wrong thinking. Source of comfort is within us. Source of peace is within us. Source of joy is within us. Source of well-being is within us. Source of love is within us. And where is that? All that exists in the inner light. That inner light which is there within us. That light which is behind the thoughts. That because of which the thoughts are illumined. That light which is behind the feelings and emotions. That because of which the feelings and emotions are known and they are illumined. That light which is behind the sun. That light which is behind the eye. That light which is behind the mind. That light which is behind the intellect. That light which is the knower within me. That light which is behind the ego. That light which is behind everything inside. That light which is within, inside the sun, inside the stars, inside the moon, inside all the luminary things in the whole creation. That light, where is that light? Inside me. The light which is there in the sun, which is shining so effulgently, that light is there within me. That light which is in the moon, I am looking at the moon and feeling very pleasant about that cool light. That source of light is within me. That light which the astronomers say, there are stars which are millions and billions of times more bigger, more effulgent than the suns, than the sun which is there here, and solar systems and galaxies and whatnot. They are all there, full of light and full of light and light and light. That light is within me. The light which we see in the face of a person who is happy is within me. That light which we see in the enlightened being is within me. That light which we see in divine people is within me. That light which is behind the brilliance of the inventors and discoverers is within me. That light which is there shining through many geniuses is within me. That light is within me. And that light is the source of love. That light is the source of peace. That light is the source of comfort. That light is the source of joy. That light is within me. It is ready, available for me, for my discovery. It is always there. It is shining through the eye and seeing the world. It is making the object shine and appear to us. It is because of that light we experience things in this world. It is because of that light we know the things of the world. It is because of that light we breathe. It is because of that light we live. We survive. That is the light of all lights. It is within me. That is why Anubhuti Prakasha says, Purnatvat Purusha Soyam Jyotiratmeti Bhanyate Purnatvat Purusha Soyam Jyotiratmeti Bhanyate. This light, which is this light what we have discussed, this light which is making everything shine in the outside world in the creation and the inside world in the inner creation, this light is the Purusha. This light is the Purusha. This light is the Absolute. And this light is called as Atman. That is the light. This light is the Purusha. This light is the Absolute. This light is the Atman. Purnatvat Purusha Soyam Jyotiratmeti Bhanyate. Again it continues afterwards in Anubhuti Prakasha Vidyaranya. Tameva Bhantamatmanam Tameva Bhantamatmanam Anubhatyakhilam Jagat Anubhatyakhilam Jagat. The whole Jagat, Anubhati Akhilam Jagat, the whole Jagat is shining, is really in splendor, in brilliance, is appearing. What it is today is only because of this light. What is this light? Tameva Bhantamatmanam. It is from this light, which is the Atman, all the splendor, all the effulgence, all the brilliance, to all the things that are there in this world, it is imparting this luster to all the things. It is because of this, everything else is shining in this world. How it all started? Anubhuti Prakasha of Vidyaranya says, Jyotiratma Chitichayam Jyotiratma Chitichayam Pradhamam Kurute Tamaha Pradhamam Kurute Tamaha Jyotiratma Chiti Chayam, meaning Chaya is the reflection, is the shadow or the reflection. Of what? Of Chiti, the consciousness. What is that? The light, Jyoti, Atma. The light of the Atma, which is the consciousness, the reflection of that consciousness. Pradhamam Kurute Tamaha. At the first, at the beginning, this reflection of consciousness touches the avidya, ignorance. And because of the touch of the consciousness, the avidya becomes active. Then, it afterwards, from the avidya everything starts, no? Intellect, mind, this and that. So then, it touches the intellect. When it touches the intellect, after it has first touched the ignorance, then it touches the intellect. It is only because of ignorance we say that we have all these instruments. We get limited by the instruments. We get limited by the limiting adjuncts or upadhis. So first thing is ignorance. The ignorance also is active because of the light of consciousness. The light which is there inside us. That is responsible for it. And then it touches the intellect. It becomes sentient. Intellect becomes sentient. Then it touches the mind. The mind appears it is sentient. Then it touches the sense organs. Sense organs become sentient. Then it touches the body. Body becomes sentient. Right? Body. Body is active. Body is able to move. Body is alive. Body is functioning. Body is doing so many things. Then it touches the objects. Objects appear sentient. that because of which objects appear sentient, body is alive and sentient, sense organs are able to function and they are sentient, mind is able to function, intellect is able to function. That is your light. That light because of which the intellect is like the intellect, the mind is like the mind, the sense organs are like the sense organs, the body is like the body, the objects are like the objects, the creation is like the creation, the sun is like the sun, the moon is like the moon, the stars are like the stars, the nature is like the nature. That light is within you. You have that light within yourself. And how can we discover that light? If we say goodbye to these stupidities, the judgments, the standards, the negative emotions, the controls that we want to entertain towards the other, the ego, all these things, through correct understanding, through right understanding, through scriptural understanding. Slowly we purify the thoughts, we purify the emotions, we take complete responsibility for purifying the feelings, the pure emotions, the pure mind. Slowly will take us inside. Once the agitations of the mind are silenced, once the wanderings of the mind are silenced, then slowly, with the help of the same mind, we will start seeing something which is behind the mind. Then slowly, we will be going slowly behind the thought, behind the emotion, behind the feeling, and see that which is illumining the feeling, illumining the thought, illumining the emotion. And then that is the source. That because of which the emotion gives us pleasure, the emotion gives us joy, the emotion gives us love-filled, feeling-filled joy. That light is behind all this. That light is yours, and you are that light. That's what the scriptures say. We are not different from that light, and that light is ours for the asking. You have to go behind the emotions, drop the emotions, go behind the thoughts, drop the thoughts, leave the thought, go behind, go within ourselves, and inside we come across, we'll meet this light of all lights. You have to go more deeper into ourselves. We will see this. Otherwise, the mind will mislead, the intellect will mislead, the sense organs will mislead, the objects will mislead, everything. See, from the intellect onwards, mind onwards, sense organs onwards, ego onwards, objects onwards, and world onwards, what will happen? All these things, again the power struggle, again the conflict, again the other person responsible, again you are cause for my happiness, and I want this object, you give me this object, I want that emotion to my mind, give me that emotion, I want this approval, you give me this approval to my intellect, and you have to give me all this, you are the cause for my happiness, you are the cause for my joy, and then complaint and agree, emotion again. Same story, again continue next birth, again new stage, new audience, new theater, drama continues, same drama continues. Born, dead, same thing continued, same story, repeat. That's all, it again continues. There was one CEO of a very big multinational company which declared bankruptcy. Bankrupt. That's all. Now nobody can claim anything from them. Bankrupt. Okay. But the shareholders all called for a meeting, shareholders meeting, because they took the shares, no? They purchased the shares. The company threw open the shares. So they purchased the shareholder meeting. And then they are taking this company director to task at that time. One person said, hey, I invested $50 million. $50 million in your company. And it declared it bankrupt. What will happen to me? $50 million. Then the CEO said, it could have been worse. Huh? He was surprised. He started thinking it could have been worse. Then another person came and said, I invested the money that was necessary for my daughter's marriage. Marriage is fixed and the in-laws are ready waiting for the money. and now I can't give the money, and the daughter's marriage is getting cancelled because of your company declaring bankruptcy. You are responsible. CEO said, it could have been worse. Another person came and said, my operation surgery is scheduled for next week. I invested the money that I have saved for the surgery. If the surgery is not performed, I may not be there. Because of you. The CEO said, it could have been worse. I am not there, I will not be there. It could have been worse. And when another pensioner came and said, all my pension money I invested in your company, and then no money, no future. My people will kick me out. I may not live. All because of you. The CEO said, it could have been worse. Now these people could not tolerate this. It could have been worse. I will be dying. You say it could have been worse. And my daughter's marriage is cancelled. You say it could have been worse. And then my surgery is postponed. I may not survive. You say it could have been worse. How it could have been worse? The CEO said, had I invested my money, it could have been worse. I did not invest my money, no. It is all your problem now. It could have been worse. It could have been worse for me. I did not invest money. I only called for investment. See this? This is utter selfishness. Not at all mindful of the duty and responsibility. At least if not giving money, at least consoling words, at least consoling the other, at least expressing some concern for the other. We are sorry, what can we do? And then this is how it has happened. We can't trust the market. So this is what happened. We will try to rebuild. I need your cooperation, support. Why can't we make it? We will again rebuild it. I will try for some other sources or resources. We'll do it. No. The selfish minds, the egoistic people will always think like that. They don't think of anything good. They don't think of anything sacred. They don't think of anything higher. They don't think of anything nice. Their thinking is like that. Somebody said, I was stressed up. I was disturbed. And then I read a book, How to Attain Peace. And then there was one important point in it. I followed it. The point was, finish the things that you have started. In that book, How to Attain Peace, there was one point. Finish the things that you have started. See, I started one big packet of chips. I finished it. I started one 5-liter pack of ice cream. I finished it. I started opening one packet of dry fruits, badam, finished it. Pista, finished it. Kaju, finished it. Akrot, finished it. Then 4-course lunch I started. 4 courses. One after another. I finished it. Then 5 liters of milk I started. Finished it. Now I feel inner calm. That means this is a person, whatever is outside him, other than him, he will finish it. Good that you and I are not there. This is not the way to attain calm, If we think that this is the way to attain, temporary thing. Those people who depend upon the external things for their inner peace, they will be like this only. Temporary, illusory calmness. The real peace is found within us. And that light inside. That light. If we become more silent, more pure, more peaceful, getting rid of all the unwanted trash that we create in our mind and entertain it, then we will come across that inner Jyoti, the Atma Jyoti, which is the source of love, peace, comfort, joy. Let us go deep into ourselves and let us learn through these relationships. Let us learn this. Next time when we are angry, let us look into ourselves, judgment, standard. Let us see where is the other inside the thought. See, let us see. What are we carrying? Let us drop them and then attain the peace within ourselves. Then we become a light of peace, of love for anyone. Then when we entertain relationships, we will add love to others. We will add peace to others' lives. We will give comfort to others. Without doing anything, we will give joy to others. Our presence adds. Afterwards, we need not do anything. We are there, and then we will be sending out the vibrations, the feelings, the thoughts, the energy of love, of peace, of joy, of comfort. These are the Mahatmas. They are there, and then they keep on sending this. And we will experience this. That is how we become the source of expressing all this love, peace, joy, comfort. Harihi Om. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shantihi, Shantihi, Shantihi. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.